right, who's a forward worth building your lineup around, Garion?
So I think Brandon Ingram has just been one of the best players in the Western Conference since the beginning of December, and he's really taken on more of a playmaking role for this team. And while, it's sort of, we've reached this weird place where generally speaking, you want to see like other quote unquote co-stars out because that increases usage rate. With some of these teams, you almost want some of these guys in there just because these scripts can get ridiculous. But no Jonas Valanciunas tonight for the Pelicans. So you'd have to assume that Ingram is looking at over 20 field goal attempts in this game, a usage rate well above 30%. He's averaging 1.25 DraftKings points per minute in the 9 games he's played so far in the month of December. 7 of those 9 games, he's eclipsed 40 DraftKings points. He's gone over 49 DraftKings points in 5 of those games. So his ceiling is super high going up against an Orlando Magic team that really just doesn't look like an NBA squad. I know they won last night, but their rotation right now is just some incredible stuff. They're the second worst defensive team in the Eastern Conference by defensive rating for the season. So this just seems like a really good matchup for a player who's probably going to have like a 35% usage rate tonight.
Nick W., hit me with a forward worth building your lineup around.
Well, I have Brandon Ingram as well, and I think it helps his case that like 2 minutes ago, Nickeil Alexander-Walker entered COVID protocols. So, that's yet another piece for the Pelicans. 35% usage rate might be low for Brandon Ingram tonight. I think we could see a situation where he's easily eclipsing 20-25 shot attempts just by default. So he's going to be a really popular play. You look at his last 10 games, 27 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 51% shooting over that 10-game span. It felt like he kind of got off to that slow start, was injured a little bit, but he is fully back to being the guy that we've become used to seeing over these last couple of years. And like Gary had said, Orlando, I know they got the win against a shorthanded Hawks team last night, but that looked like a G League team out there. They're starting players that we're in like the top 1% of people who follow this stuff. I did not know who Hassani Gravett was. That guy's starting at point guard for the Orlando Magic. So they're on a back-to-back. It's a tough spot. Who knows what's going to happen in that game? I would not want to put any money down, on that spread or those money lines, but I think Brandon Ingram is going to be in for a huge night.
All right, Nick F., which forward are you looking at?
I love the Ingram call out of these guys, but I'm going to go with Karis LeVert at 7.7K going up against the Rockets. And he does run the risk of being chalky tonight because Malcolm Brogdon is questionable with that nagging Achilles injury that he's been dealing with. But even if Brogdon plays, and I know this isn't always popular, I still like LeVert in this one because Houston is one of the least efficient teams on the defensive end, and they're tied for 8th in pace right now. And I always like LeVert to cherry pick against bad teams. That's the biggest reason that I like him tonight. And Houston is also on the second leg of a back-to-back too. So a team that's struggling, been hurting with numbers. I know Wood was back last game. We don't know what we're going to see tonight from him. Either way, I think that this is an easy spot for him to go and at least bring you back value.